Hey, love. Hey, Shani. I decided to go ahead and make a video for you since you keep saying that I don't ever show my face. So here we go. So I decided to share with you what I've been reading from Jeremiah. And I just saw a lot of reflection about what's going on nowadays with the prophecies that I saw in Jeremiah. And I wanted to share that with you, okay? All right, so I'm going to read, okay, and then show you what I've learned. And it just was a quick study, but it's just basically getting my mind back focused. You know, I love you and all, but we need to really get back into the scriptures. So here I go. Okay, so this is out of the JPS, and I'm just going to read very quickly for you. It says, "And the word of Jehovah came to me, saying, Go and cry to the ears of Jerusalem, saying, Thus saith Jehovah, I remember for thee the affliction of thy youth, the love of thine espousal," basically, bride, "how thou went after me in the wilderness, in the land that was not yet sown. Israel is Jehovah's hallowed portion. His first fruits of the increase, all that devour him shall be held guilty. All that devour him shall be held guilty." Isn't that what's going on nowadays? So that adds a little comfort to me because whoever goes against us, doing wrong to us, they will get their just fruits. "Evil shall come upon them, says Jehovah. Hear ye the word of Jehovah, O house of Yaakov, and all the families of the house of Israel. What unrighteousness have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after the things of naught, and are become naught." They running after worthlessness. That's what naught means, and have became worthless, basically. But Yah just said that we were his hallowed portion. We forgot who we were, basically. "Neither said they, Where is Jehovah that brought us up?" Do we ever ask that question? I mean, yeah, we know that Yah is the one who brought us out of Egypt. But if we don't remember who we are, we don't really make that connection. We also remember that he is the one who's done all these miraculous things. But do we see these things nowadays? Do we really ask the question, where is Yahweh? Where is he? Like the same power that did all those miraculous things for us when we came out of Mizraim. Where is he now? And why isn't he not helping us? Do we really, really think about this? And if we really did, will we find the answer? Didn't he say, if we seek, we shall find. If we knock, it would be answered. But we're not really seeking or knocking, are we? No. So, it also going to say, "Neither," said they, "where is Jehovah that brought us up out of the land of Mizraim, that led us through the wilderness, through the land of deserts and of pits, through a land of drought and of the shadow of death, through a land that no man passed through, and where no man dwelt. And I brought you into a land of fruitful fields, to eat the fruit thereof, the good thereof. But when you entered, you defiled my land. What made my heritage an abomination?" I mean, he brought us out of bondage, basically just like the bondage that we are in today. And our ancestors, what did they do? He brought us into a perfect land, a land of hills that basically was automatically watered itself, that was so fruitful, that nurtured itself. It was a perfect land, the first of its fruits. And what did we do? We went there. We totally forgot about Yah. We became entitled. And we wonder why we're in the position that we're in. We are a blessed people with many talents, the first blessed of the nation. And we turn our backs on him because we believe that we're so great. We're so blessed we don't need him anymore. Basically, let's see. The priest said not, where is Jehovah? The priests, the Levites, and they that handle the law know me not. Isn't that incredible? Their very job is to know Jehovah and to teach it, and they don't even know him. And that goes with the pastors and the priests and everybody who holds the law, but they really don't know Jehovah, do they? And they that handle the law know me not, and the rulers transgress against me. We know that to be true too. The prophets also prophesies by Baal. So we already know that basically the profaned word, the righteous mixed with profane, that is all basically just the mystery religion, things that go back in time. We're still worshiping the same idols over and over again, and Baal is what he's about. What? Prophet. Not about the Most High. And walk after things that do not profit. So it's about profit, but it doesn't profit us. These words that they give us, I remember being a super Christian, crying to Yah, well, actually to God, I called him at the time, and to Jesus, and reading and just devouring the scriptures and not getting any blessing for it. Just having a horrible life because it wasn't real. It wasn't true. And how is Yah going to bless you in that? It's fruitless. It's basically fruitless. Our lives, our worship is not righteous because we're not returning back to the real, true word and the real king and the real power, the real God, Yahweh. So it has no profit. Y'all didn't want us to suffer. That's the thing that really used to get me. I used to think that I had to suffer because it was said that Jesus suffered. He wanted us to suffer, and we had to endure through suffering. When you're suffering, you're doing the right thing. But Yah brought us to a land so that we can have peace, shalom, Shabbat. That he actually gave us a day where we can have peace, that we can honor him and rest our body and be with our family. Does that sound like a God who wants us to suffer? It was very astounding me. It astounded me to know that Yah did not want me to suffer. That was not part of the deal. They're lying to us to make us think that this is the way it's supposed to be. And it's not. They are great liars. This is just what's coming to me, okay? All right. Wherefore I will yet plead with you, saith Jehovah, and with your children's children will I plead. Now, this is a great word because I looked this up in in the other JPS, and it said contend. I will contend with you. And so contend means I'm going to deal with you. I'm going to be against you. I'm going to put myself against you. So I'm going to, basically, he says, I will contend with you, says Jehovah, and I will contend with your children's children. That's what's happening nowadays, isn't it? For pass over to the isles, of the Kittites and see, and send unto Kedar, and consider diligently, and see if there have been such a thing. Hath a nation changed its gods? Have they changed their gods? No. That's a thing. All these nations, they always had the same gods, whether they changed their names, whether it be Heru, Osiris, JC, it is the same God, the same sun worship over and over again. So why us having the only true power, why are we changing our gods? Why do we switch? They're not switching. They're consistent. And that just boggles my mind that we would change the real true power to something so meaningless. How foolish are we? How foolish are we? My people has changed its glory for that which does not profit. Again, it it will not do anything for us but make us suffer. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye exceedingly amazed. I am amazed that coming out of Christianity, how I was so devout. I already shared with you my story, my testimony, how I was so devout and did not benefit none. I suffered greatly because I was so devout to this false God. And as soon as I came into the truth, I tell you not, as soon as I said, this man is not real, and Yahweh is the only true power, let me tell you, my life changed drastically. It changed drastically, and I have never had any peace until I did that. Like peace of mind, like my sanity was brought back. Hope, which I have never had, was brought to me. It was astounding. So for somebody, I don't understand my ancestors that they had such great peace, had their own home, were their foundation and the true power of the universe chose them and granted them everything that they seek. They didn't have anybody ruling over them but him. And he only wanted what's best for us. And we just turned our back. And now we're crying out and we're wondering why. And we still don't want to give up the things that is hurting us. It's amazing to me because I would give up anything at all, to have that peace of mind, to have Yehovah back into my life, to have those blessings. It just astounds me that people just can't see what we're doing to ourselves and the things that we're going through nowadays. Just is in relation to this. My people have committed two evils, it says. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, made themselves cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. That explains itself. Is Israel a servant? The only true chosen people, the firstborn, a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he become a prey? The chosen has become a prey. The young lions have roared against him and let their voice resound, and they have made his land desolate. His cities are laid waste without inhabitant. The children also of Naph and Taphanes, I don't know how to pronounce that, fed upon the crown of thy head. On another verse it said, shrewd the crown. Is it not this that doth cause it unto thee, that thou hast forsaken Yahweh thy power? Isn't this the reason? Because this is why everything is happening to us. Today, we're getting shot down. Our children are getting killed in the street. Every day I wake up. Every day I wake up and I just see my people being shot like dogs in the street. And it affects me greatly. What I see is my beautiful black men. But most of all, I see my sons. Beautiful, proud, black, strong, intelligent young men just treated like animals. It affects me deeply. I can't even tell you. It is hard to watch. I see you, and sometimes I'm grateful that you're yellow. But my son who's out there right now is dark skinned, and he is a genius with a beautiful spirit, and he's suffering now because the world is telling him that he's worthless. And it's hard for me to deal with. I remember when he changed, he was summa cum laude for his junior high school, and he was really proud. And we lived in a nice neighborhood. We were really poor though. And I don't know what I was doing. I was really mixed up. I just left my husband and I didn't know what to do. And I was learning, how to sell and stuff. And so I was hardly ever home because I was trying to hustle, trying to make sure I can pay rent. And my son loved to learn. And he would wake up, but he was bad at getting up on time by himself. And so I wasn't home early in the morning. And so he got up late. I think he was a few minutes late, and he got his clothes on and he ran to school, which is just around the corner. And some police officers saw my son running and they stopped him. And they stopped him on suspicion of robbery. Now remember, he's only in junior high school, but he is very strong, beautiful built young boy, dark skin. And they arrested him in front of his school and humiliated him in front of his friends and sent more police cars out and looked through his backpack several times. All they found was books. And they took him in and told his principal that they believe he was a thief and all these other things. And his principal called me, and his principal already believed what the police said. They didn't find anything. But they still gave him a punishment, and it was for truancy, which was he was only a few minutes late. He wasn't truant, he was going to school. But I saw the change on my son after that. He hated his skin. He felt marked. He felt like he had a bullseye on his head. And from there, it didn't matter how smart he was. It didn't matter that he knew that he was a genius, that he was brilliant. It don't matter how many people say that he's beautiful. And they just say, wow, you're so smart for a black guy. He felt like he had to be a thug in order just to be labeled and accepted because he couldn't be different. I mean, it broke me. It broke my heart because I saw that he was broken. Where was I? When he led them by the way. And now what hast thou to do in the way to Egypt, to drink of the water of Sheol? Or what hast thou to do in the way of AzarYah, to drink the waters of the rear of the river? Thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. So I looked this up too in another, and it said thy apostasy, the abandonment of our beliefs, shall reprove thee. So basically, the apostasy, instead of saying wickedness, it's the abandonment of our belief. That's in another translation. And it will reprove thee, it will correct thee. So basically, our own abandonment of our belief, our own abandonment of the supreme power, our actions is going to be what's going to bring us right back. Because as you can see, this world is going crazy, and all over the world, if you really look at the news, and I pay attention to international news, what's going on in Puerto Rico, what's going on in Ethiopia, what's going on in Israel, what's going on in the Caribbean, and I have friends in the Caribbean, the same thing is going on to us. Just us with our heritage. Why? It's I wonder if we're paying attention. Are we paying attention, Poppy? That's what I wonder. That thou hast forsaken Jehovah thy power. Neither is my fear in thee. We don't fear him, says Jehovah, Elohim of hosts. For of old time I have broken thy yoke. From of old time he broken our yoke. He's freed us. He did free us. And has burst thy bonds. So we were free. And thou says, I would not transgress. Upon every hill and under every leafy tree, thou didn't recline playing the harlot. So basically, in another version I read, it says, even though he's broken our bonds and our yoke and taking that, we said we won't serve. We're not going to serve, even though he made us free, made us talented, made us strong, gave us our own land, gave us anything that we ever wanted, the blessed of the blessed, the cream of the crop. We decided we're still not going to serve. We're going to do what we want to do. Instead, decided to serve these made up gods and become whore, basically, to these gods that can't do anything for us. Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant, of a strange vine unto me? For thou wash thee with nitre, and take thee much soap. And the nitre is what is that? Lye. And we wash ourselves, and then we say to him, yet thine iniquity is marked for me, says Jehovah. How earnest thou say, I am defiled. I am not defiled, or I'm not unclean. I wash myself, I'm not unclean. I have not gone after Baal, says thy way. See thy way in the valley, know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift young camel, conversing that way, is going back and forth, basically. A wild ass used to the wilderness. We don't want to be disciplined. We're stubborn. We just want to do what we want to do and just frolic anywhere we want to go, untamed. Thy sniffeth up the wind in her desire. We run after our lust. Yep. Her lust, who can hinder it? All that seek her will not weary themselves. Okay, so if they want our behind, If they want something with us, if they want to do with us, they won't have to really come after us and work, because guess what? They'll find us. It says they will find us during our month or whatever, in her month, in our heat. They shall find her. Withhold thy foot from being unshod, and thy throat from thirst. But thou sayest, there is no hope. No, for I have loved strangers, and after them will I go. So we're basically saying, there's no hope for us. We like what we're doing. We don't want to turn from them. So basically it is what it is. We don't want to turn back, because we love worshiping JC. We love Hoochie Mama wearing the Daisy Duke shorts, doing all the stuff that we're doing nowadays, because it's it's fun. We like our captivity, basically, and being the fool, because it fulfills our lust. So we really don't want to change from that. That's what I got. As the thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed. They, their kings, their princes, and their priests, and their prophets. Who says to a stock? And I looked up stock. Stock means, and it's two definitions for stock. Stock means, instead of a tree, the trunk or woody stem of a living tree or shrub, especially one into which a graft, that's interesting, is inserted. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm going to get back to it. All right, so, all right. Now, this is what really got me. So this is what I really wanted to talk to you about. And it really astounded me from my previous studies, and you probably already know. Okay, so it says, and their priests and their prophets, we will be put to shame, who say to a rock, thou say to the stock. And I was explaining what the stock was. That's right. And it also has another meaning. Okay, so I got scion, which is another one in the other translation of the JPS. And it says, a scion is a shoot or a twig of a plant, especially one that's ready for engrafting. And isn't that funny that when we think about JC, how he says that he'll engraft onto the vine or whatever, he's the engrafted vine, or the Gentiles, or whatever. I just thought that was funny that was the word. I need to look more into it. But that is what they're like praising, this wood, this stock, or whatever. And I'm thinking Christianity, the cross, you know what I mean? The wood, the stock, whatever. And it also had another meaning, which I thought was really cool. And it says, it also means denoting a conventional character type, a situation that recurs in a particular genre of literature, theater, or film. So usual, routine, predictable, traditional. So it's like a reoccurring theme to literature, or a traditional. So we see that JC is basically a reoccurring theme, because we go back to, Heru, go back to Egypt, go back to Rome, and it's the same God over and over again. They just put another name or face to him. So it's the sun god, of course. So I just thought that was really interesting, that word stock had those two different meanings that both can be applied today to what Christianity is. So it says, who says to the stock, thou art my father. Isn't that what they do? And to the stone, thou hast brought us forth. Now, the stone was interesting too. Like, a lot of my family is Muslim. And what they do is when they go to Mecca is that there's this stone right in the middle, and they just propel themselves around and around on it, just paying homage to it. And it's a stone that came from the moon or from the stars or something. But it says right here, the stock, which is wood, and the stone. That's what our people are doing. Our people. We are praising these things. And it says right here in Jeremiah, this is exactly what we're doing nowadays. That was incredible to us, to me. So, for they have turned their back unto me and not their face. Now, Poppy, I want to ask you, okay, you turn your back onto somebody, but not your face. I thought that was unusual. But in the time of their trouble, they will say, arise and save us. Wow. But where are thy gods? He asks us, that thou hast made thee. Where are they? We're asking Yah right now, save us, Yah. We're getting killed in the streets. They're killing us all. They don't care about us. And he's saying, well, where are the gods that you made? Your stones and your stock, your tree and your stone, Christianity and, Islam. Where are they? Let them arise, he says, if they can save thee in the time of thy trouble, for according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Yehuda. Deep to me. So, it goes on to say, wherefore will ye contend with me? Basically, why are you against me? Ye all have transgressed against me, said Jehovah. In vain have I smitten your children. Killing our babies and killing our people.